great players, they have a great organization, and you tell them one thing.
What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raiders related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into it. At this point, it is all but evident that things are really heating up between Green Bay Packers star quarterback Aaron Rodgers joining the Las Vegas Raiders. Our star wide receiver Davante Adams throughout the whole week has really been throwing out so many different hints on his social media that he wants the Raiders to trade for his former quarterback, where Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers completely dominated the league on offense. Davante Adams also decided to use Aaron Rodgers' signature discount double check celebration today at the Pro Bowl. And he was also asked after the Pro Bowl whether or not he's trying to advocate, do his best to bring in Aaron Rodgers, and he said absolutely 100%. Now we know that it's out in the air. Davante Adams clearly wants Aaron Rodgers, and you can definitely understand why. They developed that legendary connection back in Green Bay. The Raiders need a quarterback. Davante Adams too. I mean, you also got to look at it from his perspective. He may not want to be patient and wait for a young quarterback or a bridge quarterback to develop. He wants somebody that can get him the football because Davante Adams knows he's an absolute game changer on that field. So hey, things are definitely starting to trend towards the way of the Raiders potentially trading for Aaron Rodgers. I think the Raiders front office will definitely have a lot of interest and be aggressive to try to pursue a trade. Now, one thing I will mention though is that the Raiders will be unable to land this deal, finalize this deal to trade for Aaron Rodgers until we have Derek Carr off the books in terms of cap salary. We won't be able to afford that contract if we have Derek Carr's contract on the books as well. So we have to find a way to get the deal done between Derek Carr in the near future. Now, if we are able to land a trade for Derek Carr, whenever that may be, look, expect if this deal is going to get done, I think it'll be shortly after we get the Derek Carr deal done. And then the Aaron Rodgers news should break. Now, how soon will it be until Derek Carr is officially off of this roster? It just depends on how soon we can land a trade for Derek Carr, or even if we can land a trade. Look, if we decide to just release Derek Carr, which the deadline for that is coming up here soon, February 15th, 3 days after the Super Bowl, so approximately 10 days from now, the Raiders can make their decision to move on from Derek Carr. And you know, from the start, I always thought that I don't think we were going to get much for Derek Carr. I always thought the possibility of him getting released was very high, but who knows? I mean, we've also seen that certain teams definitely have interest in Derek Carr, so we'll just have to see what happens. Personally, for me, at this point, I really don't care. I just want whatever's going to happen to Derek Carr to happen soon, because look, personally, I think if the Raiders are truly serious about trading for Aaron Rodgers, then I think we need to try to get this deal done as soon as possible. Take advantage of all the momentum going towards the Raiders in terms of a trade for Aaron Rodgers, because look, although Aaron Rodgers, he does not have a no trade clause in his contract, despite this, Aaron Rodgers still really has all the leverage over the Green Bay Packers, because if they don't trade him, then he will simply just decide to retire, and at that point, Green Bay will be left empty-handed. For a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, a guy like that, you can't just let him retire, walk away. If you plan on moving forward with Jordan Love, they have to get something for this guy. At the same time, no team is going to trade any type of serious draft capital for Aaron Rodgers unless they are sure that Aaron Rodgers is willing to join them. They're not going to trade a first rounder for a guy that doesn't want to play for them or who will just decide to retire. Really, the only teams that are seriously in the mix right now are the Raiders and the New York Jets. Now the question is, how much draft capital will the Raiders have to give up in order to land Aaron Rodgers? I definitely think at minimum you're going to have to give up a first round pick, whether that be this year's first round pick or next year. Personally, I would not mind giving up this year's 7th overall pick, but very likely you're going to have to give another high round pick, like a second rounder this year or next year, and potentially even another mid-round pick just to sweeten the deal. Really, if that's the type of trade package we give up for Aaron Rodgers, it would not be that bad in my opinion, but I just hope we don't give up the farm for Aaron Rodgers. I don't want us to give up 2-3 first round picks for a guy who I don't see playing very much longer in the NFL. His contract is only 2 years left. And if the Raiders decide to move forward with him, pick up his option, he can play up until 2026. But really, I see him playing at a high level for another 2 to 3 years. Basically, if you're making this move, you're going all in, trying to compete as soon as possible. Also, Davante Adams, he wants to compete for championships. There's no doubt about that. The quickest way you could potentially do that is to get Aaron Rodgers, the guy who's going to have the immediate connection with Davante Adams. Look, also, another reason why I wasn't a huge fan of bringing in Aaron Rodgers is not only you're going to have to trade for him, but also the massive contract that comes with Aaron Rodgers. He signed a 3-year, $150 million extension with the Green Bay Packers last offseason. But after looking at it, Aaron Rodgers' contract in terms of a cap hit, which is really the most important part for the franchise moving forward, that will actually affect whether or not we can sign players. In terms of a cap hit, the next 2 years, it's not going to be too bad considering what the Raiders were about to pay for Derek Carr when we signed him to that extension last season. Next year's cap hit for Aaron Rodgers would be approximately $15 million, which is not bad at all. And in 2024, it'll be about $35 million, which is really a bargain for a top-tier, elite-level quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, especially when Derek Carr was set to have close to around $40 million in the next coming years. So although he does have a lot of money per year, a lot of his money is through guarantees, so it would not directly affect the cap. So by bringing in Aaron Rodgers, look, the Raiders still would have to invest some money in their defense, there's no doubt about that, and through the draft. But signing Aaron Rodgers almost essentially locks down the offense for this team. At this point, you just have to find a way to bring back Jacobs. Worst case scenario, you franchise tag him for next season. You bring him back on the roster. Maybe you got to add a little bit of help on the offensive line to strengthen it. But overall, I don't think this offensive line was that bad. Think about it. The running backs depend on the offensive line to get their yards, to open up the holes. And we had the league's leading rusher in Josh Jacobs. So this offensive line isn't as terrible. We just definitely need to shore up certain spots on the O-line. But the Raiders can just go all in on some veteran defensive free agents for short 1-year deals. And you also got to go heavy on the draft on the defensive side of the football, where the Raiders will have a boatload of picks moving forward. Also, we have our defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, coaching at the Senior Bowl, which is huge. The last time we had a coach present at the Super Bowl, we got very great draft picks in Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, Foster Moreau. Overall, that was a very solid draft. I think the Raiders made a strategic move to have our defensive coordinator coach at the Senior Bowl. I think that really just shows that the Raiders are going to go heavy on defense in this year's draft, and I absolutely love it if that is the case. And look, although I have been saying I think we need to draft a quarterback, look, if we trade for Aaron Rodgers, look, I'd be lying to say I wouldn't be excited about this move. And look, at the very least, even if you don't want Aaron Rodgers, you don't think it's the right move, you'd have to give at least some type of credit to our general manager. And that is just due to the fact that this man is aggressive as hell. If he's able to pull off this move, he's doing whatever it takes to try to build a championship level roster as soon as possible, with trading for star players in back-to-back off seasons. But ultimately, it just depends on how much we will have to give up for Aaron Rodgers. And also, if we do give up a lot, well, the only way we can determine whether or not we won the trade is if we win the Super Bowl. You don't trade for an Aaron Rodgers simply just to make the wild card, to make the playoffs. You're making this aggressive move in order to bring a championship home to the Las Vegas Raiders and bring back that winning culture, that winning mystique that has been missing for decades now within this franchise. So let me know in the comment section down below, Raider Nation, do you guys think Aaron Rodgers will come to the Las Vegas Raiders? If so, are you a fan of this move? Let me know in the comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.